Hello, it's Vicky and welcome to the 48th time that I've filmed this video. It's an interesting one for me and it's one that I know what to say and I want to say it in the right way, and this is not a like, oh my god, I'm like doing some drama. It's not a Piers Morgan life story type situation. But the fact that I'm standing up is a sign of what's to come. And I want to share something first and foremost about my journey. There it is, 35 seconds in, and I've already used the word journey. I've noticed over the last few months, few years, since I became a mum, I've got really comfortable. And being comfortable was never one of my values. As a kid, of course, I'm 38 years old. I love lovely linen. I feel lucky that I've got food in my fridge, that I've got a warm home, all of those sorts of things. But in terms of life choices, in terms of falling in line or doing what everybody else did or making the sensible decision because that's what somebody once said that you should do, I've never played that game. And actually, if people say you have to do this thing, I resist it, I question it, I pick it apart, I look at it, I see if I connect with it. And for the most part, I don't. And this has been a muscle that I've really learned to access, because as an actor, so if you're just watching this for the first time, I went to drama school 20 years ago and I've been doing it for 30 years professionally. I don't know, I started when I was 4, I'm 38, 34 years. So I've had to, over the years, really get to know myself in terms of connecting and being able to access material and what I want to do. And what I mean by that is when I do acting roles, I'm not usually cast as I'm just waiting for my prince to come. I am cast as that kind of gritty, raw, lie under a railway bridge, cry, be a bit hysterical. Those are the parts that really excite me. Like, who is that person? What's going on behind it? And sometimes that completely conflicts with what's going on in my home life, my normal life, as it were. And so I always have to try and find the truth of that, and I have to look at it, and that's what you learn as an actor, to make sure that you connect with it, but also not feel like you're going crazy in the rest of your life. So I've got familiar with doing that. But as I've been updating my website and as I've been kind of looking and reflecting, and I went on holiday a couple of weeks ago and I had some time away. Also, my daughter is now 14 months, so I'm slowly starting to get into that, like, okay, we've adjusted, we've made that move into having 2 children. I mean, of course, it's not perfect. We're not like, okay, now we're done and this is all sorted. Far from it. But we're finding a new rhythm, and suddenly what I've got is I've got new headspace, so I don't have to go to 40 hospital appointments. I've got time. My son started school. I've been thinking about this. And as I was uploading and looking into my website, I was looking at myself, which is weird, isn't it? When you have to listen to your voice or you have to watch your video. And I was watching myself sitting on my sofa, which is right behind me, and I was thinking, you've got really comfortable. You have found a flow, you found a rhythm, you found a tried and tested method, because it does. Like what I put out there, the podcast, last month, September, was the highest download month I've ever had. And I recognize that I have, and I'm grateful for finding that groove, because when I started as a coach in 2012, I didn't have any clients. I didn't know what to do. We were with Instagram, we were putting pictures of our fish and chips on with a nice filter, making them look a bit grey, which was a bit weird. We weren't thinking about ourselves as personal brands, for sure. But I was watching the rhythm of what I was doing. And I had to look at it objectively, which again sounds very indulgent. But, when you are your business, you kind of have to do that. And I took a step back and I was like, you are too safe. And actually, that person that you are, sitting comfortably on your sofa, only filming like head and shoulders, like not even showing like the rest of your body. I mean, you can't even see, I'll do some dangling there.
it's not who you are if people met you in person.
And this is a really interesting time at the moment, because we all are having to adapt the way that we work. We're all having to work online and connect in social media, in our website, and the way that we show up.
And who I am
as a performer, as somebody who has played to thousands of people, as somebody who has done so much public speaking in front of hundreds of people, when I approach I'm here, I'm getting paid, and I'm here to deliver, and I'm here to be useful and to connect, that energy, who I am, and you're probably feeling a bit more of it right now, in person is not who I am on that sofa. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, come on now. Like, even, not that I was boring myself, because, you know, ultimately I did think what I had to share was useful, but there's so much more that I could do.
And I had this realization this morning of like,
right, what are you going to do? And the first thing was like, I need to stand up a bit more. I need to really check in with my state and what's going on. Because the world feels really heavy at the moment. Really heavy. And if I'm not careful, I can have that spirally moment of like, oh my goodness, and thinking all the things, and it piles on, and this is not going to work, and and I get into that kind of spirally situation. Or I get in my own head. I'm too tired, too old, I don't feel like it, maybe tomorrow's going to be better. I even had a day the other day like, oh, well, now it's getting darker in the mornings, I'm not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. Like, I was putting all this stuff
on other things. And I had to check in with
actually, what have I done in my other life? So I went to a dance school from being very little.
And, you know, I had a very formidable teacher who, you know, we'd all wander in after school like, oh, I'm a bit tired.
And, you know, you'd want to kind of, we're like, oh, I'm stretching. I'm sitting on the floor, I'm stretching.
And she'd be like, come on, right, off we go. Let's do this. And as soon as she would put that music on and she'd go 5, 6, 7, 8, something in me like woke up and listened and tuned in and became present and showed up and did what I needed to do. And within a couple of minutes, I was able to get back into flow, to listen to what was happening, to check in. And that wasn't about excusing any of those feelings, because they were all there. But it stopped me from staying in that position for so long. Likewise, if I go and do a speaking gig in real life, I am prepared. Like, I'm thinking about what I want to say, and I'm getting my head into that showtime. Let's do this. And for some people who are like not in that kind of, I guess it's because I'm not naturally an extrovert. So my introvert way has to use these techniques to be able to go, right, what do I need to do? How can I get into that character of somebody who's like, hi, everybody. There's 500 people here and I'm not scared in the slightest, because of course I am. Like, I'm a human being, and that's sort of the way that it is. Equally as well, when I have a lack of creativity, or when I am struggling with an email that I need to send, or I can't quite figure out what this thing is, I always make the decision to move, to stand up, to change my state, to go, right, okay, I'm closing my laptop. Or, you know that feeling as well when you've got kids, when you've been in all morning, you're like, right, we're going out, wherever we need to go, we are going out. So lots of things have been cooking, and I'm going to make a commitment, and if you can hold me accountable to this would be great. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you'd be like, I don't know if she's sitting up or standing up, or what is she doing? She may be lying down. But I'm going to make this commitment to myself to really show up in a way that I would in person, because there's stuff that I know that's going to be useful. The stuff that you know that I need, that we all need, that we need to share. And I'm not going to hide anymore. I know that feels bold to say that, but I just don't want to get boring. I don't want to feel like I'm like, so I'm nearly 40 now and I've got no energy and all the rest of it. And this is not to underestimate, my goodness, all the madness that's going on in the world. But I tell you what, if I can bring a bit of energy, a bit of joy, a bit of like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I needed to hear today, Nikki, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to encourage you today to stand up in whatever shape or form. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling that you've got a bit comfortable, a bit predictable, stand up, move about. You don't have to do one of those cheesy sort of like, we're all having a dance party and we're fist pumping each other and doing that thing with our chests. You don't have to do that either. But yeah, see if it works. Let me know what you think. And yeah, let's stand up. See you later. Bye.